Hey y'all, howdy, hey, hi, hello. So, it's a habit of mine. As soon as I start a video, I drink something. Been in Vegas all day, the edge of Vegas, at the the Morton's truck stop on the edge of Vegas. And I got some pretty good barbecue right behind me at the S&S Barbecue Diner, which is apparently won a bunch of awards and been on the Food Network. So I was like, I'll go get some food. I got a chicken Philly cheesesteak and some peach cobbler. Haven't eaten peach cobbler yet, but I'll get to it. It's pretty good. So anyway, other than like the gun video, the gun review video that I posted, I haven't really said much about trucking for a couple weeks now. But most of it's because I didn't really have much going on other than the fact that I broke down in the middle of the desert, and that sucks. So I was leaving, I got picked up a load, and I got to where did I park that night? Kingman, Arizona. I parked at the Loves in Kingman and then left really early in the morning, like 5 in the morning. So it was dark. I'm driving, I get about an hour down the road, and I blow one of my drive tires on the right side. And I'm like, come on, it sucks. I think it was the right side. So that took a few hours to get fixed. And then I got about 30 minutes down the road and my radiator blew. No, I didn't have the AC on. It was still kind of cool outside, but over the God, I was there for like 6 hours, man, because I was in the middle of nowhere. And it didn't make much sense for them to tow me back the wrong way to a truck stop to fix the radiator, because that would have been there for days and days probably, and then to go to Phoenix. So they were like, we'll tow you from Phoenix. So I had to wait for somebody to get from Phoenix to tow me back to Phoenix. So that was a hell of a day, man. And then I was there the next day while they fixed my radiator. It took them a day because they had to order a part. And then they fixed the truck. Then I got out of there and I went back home. So not too bad, but that screwed my week up a little bit. Hopefully it's not a guaranteed pay that they have here. It's like a pay protection thing. As long as you're working or available for work, or if you get a breakdown, then they pay you a certain amount just because, you know, that's not your fault. So that should take care of that. But I had a PM scheduled, and I told my driver manager, I was like, look, if they do this PM, there's no way I'll make my delivery back in Salt Lake in time. So they canceled the PM, and then I had the breakdown. It's like, so I got screwed up anyway. Anyway, so this week they're sending me back to Phoenix because I still had to do my PM. They didn't do it while I was there. I don't know why. But I still have to do the PM, and I'm going to Phoenix for that. So, okay. Every time I go to Phoenix, it like screws my week up. I still get paid, but I don't make as much because going into Phoenix, that's not my normal route. So stuff going back to Salt Lake is usually coming out of Southern California. So they have to send me there first. But yeah, I got down here, and I got loaded so late up in Salt Lake the day before, or yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, that I was like, I can't make it all the way to California in one drive. It was like 650 miles, and that's just a little bit too far, especially if you're going to get into California then try to get out. It's not going to happen. So they had me relay that here in Vegas, and then I guess it took them about a day to find me a load going from Vegas to get me at least towards Phoenix. It's been a weird couple weeks, man. So I'm going to New Mexico, Walmart distribution center there, and then they'll get me a load to Phoenix, and from there I'll probably go to Southern California, and then finally back to Salt Lake, and then I'll be on my regular schedule so I don't have to go to Phoenix. Phoenix is always like, wow. But yeah, other than that, it's still going good, still going great. I don't know what to talk about other than, like, I had a little bit of a list, and something simple I could talk about is for new people. I don't know if I've ever mentioned much of this, but like, when you start driving trucks, you're going to find out how parking is a problem. Even in this parking lot, I'm surprised there's actually spots, because I'm on the edge of the city, man. Any big city, you're probably not going to find much parking, but there's spaces here, and I think it's because it's not like a big, like a Love's or a Flying J, Petro, all that. It's kind of like an out-of-the-way truck stop that you don't really notice as a truck stop. I didn't know this was here till I drove by it to make a delivery. I was like, oh, all right, so it's like a secret spot, I guess. But generally, you're not going to find spaces in big cities. And it's not as much of a problem out in the west, but back east, especially on the northeast or and the coast, parking is a nightmare. You're almost never going to find anywhere. If you're getting done at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're screwed. You have to trip plan to be able to be driving and stopping the end of your day when you know there's going to be parking. And if you're regional or dedicated, you'll get to where you know certain truck stops and how many are going to have some open spots. Like here around Vegas, there's a few outside the city, about 30 miles out, that you could probably find parking any time of night. But for the most part, most truck stops, after 5 o'clock, there's no spots. And even then, there's a money racket called paid parking. Now that could be useful if you're heavy haul or oversized or something like that. And you can reserve a spot so that you'll have a spot. And that's the argument they use. Oh, you'll have a spot. It's peace of mind. No, you shouldn't be charging for it. They charge you $20 to $30 to park in these spaces. And a lot of these parking lots, 90% of it is paid parking. I don't pay for parking. I refuse. I will park at a rest stop before I pay $30 for a freaking parking spot. That's just dumb. So that's a problem. I don't think that it should be a thing. I think it should be a very sparse thing for people that really need it, but not trying to prey on normal truck drivers just trying to park. So paid parking is some bullshit. On top of that, there's not enough parking for how many trucks there are on the road. There's way more trucks on the road than there are parking spaces. So, I mean, obviously, if you got a terminal nearby, you can park at a terminal, park at home, park somewhere, but you're legally not supposed to be parking on the side of the road, which a lot of people will do. And as far as a truck stop, you would consider that to be like a safe parking spot, and there's not enough of those. So the problem with, and you'll drive by a bunch of empty lots, like old malls and stuff that have been shut down, and you're like, why don't they turn that into a truck parking area? Be smart, right? Well, it would be smart if they wanted to help us, but they don't want to help us, because if they can't make money off of us, they're not going to do it. And if they made those places parking spots for truckers, they would make you pay for it, because that's the only way they're going to make money off of it. They're not going to do anything in this country. Nobody will do anything in this country unless they can make money off of you. The free parking at truck stops is because you'll park for free, but they know you're going to go in the truck stop. You'll get food. You'll buy some stuff. You'll get drinks. You probably pay for a shower or something. You're going to make the money by parking here. That's why they have them. But that's why also you're not going to find truck parking in the middle of nowhere that's just a lot. If you do, you're lucky. So I don't have that much of a problem with it out here in the desert. Most of these places are pretty wide open because they're newer and they know that trucks need space. So I like that. But yeah, I looked into why won't they make new trucks parking areas? Why doesn't the government step in? Why doesn't somebody do something to make sure that we have parking? But nobody cares. Nobody cares. You just got to be able to get good at parking and start looking for spots that you could park at in an emergency if you need it. That's not the side of the road or the off ramp. That's just dangerous, man. Somebody's gonna run into you one day. I get really nervous about parking on the side of the road because I blew a tire in Houston my first year of trucking, and I was off the road, way off the road, on the side, and triangles route and everything, and some dude was drunk, middle of the day, noon, and this guy was drunk, ran off the road with his pickup and rear-ended me. Didn't hurt me, didn't hurt the truck, destroyed the trailer, decimated his vehicle. He went under the trailer, almost died. He had to get airlifted, and I'm just like, there's no way I would ever park and sleep in my cab on the side of the road. But some people do it. You want to do that, you go ahead. You're gonna die one day. But yeah, parking is a big issue in trucking, and there's not really a way to fix it. We need more truck drivers, but we're not getting more parking. and that's the problem. So even with this job, like we have a little, we don't have a terminal in Salt Lake City. We park at a drop yard behind a warehouse, which is fine, you know, as far as like the truck and the trailer and all that. But like I have to leave my Jeep there, and there's not really a parking spot for the car there. Everybody, like, I parked in one spot and they were like, hey, you're blocking our little pump house that we have to do things at. I'm like, okay, I moved. They told me to park in this little designated parking area for another company that parks there. So I parked there, and I get a note on my car. It says, hey, you can't park here. This is paid parking for this company. I'm like, oh my God. So this time I moved my Jeep and parked in an actual truck parking space. There's a lot of them. I'm not in the way. But I don't really like that either, because somebody could hit my Jeep. God, truck parking is just, it's been a headache the entire time I've been a trucker. It's always gonna be a headache. And there's no fix for it. It's just a stupid thing you have to deal with as a trucker. And on top of that, if you work somewhere, like if you live in the city like I do, I live in the middle of Salt Lake City. There's nowhere to park a truck there, other than truck stops. But again, in the middle of the city, you're not going to find a spot usually. So I can't do that. And I'm not going to leave my Jeep at a random truck stop all week. So my point is, if you live in a big city like that and you don't have somewhere to park a truck, you can't even be a truck driver. You're not going to have anywhere to park your truck unless you want to Uber 40 miles, which is crazy. But yeah, truck parking sucks, man. It just sucks. That's the video. And a little update on what all I've had going on. More gun reviews will be coming as soon as I get time. I don't know, man. I was even crunched for time doing that one pistol review. And I got red dot on the way for one of my guns that I have to take to range to 0. I might just do a review for it there at the range, but it's kind of loud. And I will be zeroing my AR-15 to have some fun with that and do a review on that. Other than that, man, I don't really have a lot going on right now. I do not. I wanted to go camping, but it's been too hot. It's cooling off now, but I also don't get enough time at home unless I just take days off, which I'm allowed to do. I don't really get time at home to like go out and camp, which is, you know, another thing with trucking. You're gonna work. You're gonna be working like 5 to 6 days in pretty much every job. I was just looking at other jobs last night, just looking. You know, I'm not trying to like leave or anything, but I just cruise on Indeed, like, and looking at these schedules that people offer, and it's like, one of them was the work week was Monday and Tuesday, and you're off Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm like, what the hell kind of schedule is that, man? You're just taking the weekend just for arbitrary reasons, just taking somebody's weekend away. You could just have them work on Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday and be off Saturday, Sunday. Or like a Friday and Saturday off is really good. A Saturday or Sunday and Monday off is really good. But Friday, Saturday is the best, because especially in Salt Lake, Sunday everything's closed. So it's just crazy. Like, trucking work schedules are weird. They're so weird. Mine not so much. Yeah, typically it's normal, but going to Phoenix and back, I already explained this, kind of mumbly, it jumbles it all up and makes it crazy. I'm gonna shut up because I got my PlayStation on back here. I've been replaying Ghost of Tsushima because the new one's coming out next year, and it was a really good game. It was really fun, and I got a really big backlog of games, and I've just been playing old games. But yeah, I'm gonna play PlayStation the rest of the day because I can't get loaded until in the morning. Apparently taking water to Walmart. That reminds me, I need to buy some water. Anyway, y'all have a good one.